My name is Ian Walsh. I'm with Hard Money Bankers, and as you guys know, we're doing Masters of the Market, and we're picking out some of your local Philadelphia area experts in what they do. And the key here that we found was find guys in certain niches that specialize and are experts in this market. Today we're here graced by the presence of George Beatty. So George is fantastic. If you haven't seen him online, the guy's a funny guy. Should have his own TV show. I'm still voting for that. But George, not to mention just being an entertainer and well, good in front of a microphone, but he's an exceptional wholesaler in the area. And that's the reason we wanted to bring him to you today, was to see what George thinks, what he sees in the market, what he's doing with his business, and how his business is, you're always adapting, right? There's a difference in the market between 2008 and now. So I welcome George Beatty. George, thanks for joining us this morning. There he is.
Hey, what's up, guys? I didn't see you there with the camera on. I guess hopefully my hair looks okay. And yeah.
Beautiful as always, George Beatty. So
literally
yeah, so what I want to talk about, I'll jump into it with you, George. So one of the things I like to know is, first of all, explain to everybody what wholesaling is and what you do, day to day, and how you're in tune with this market.
Okay, so the short version of what wholesaling is you're middlemaning cash as is type transactions between sellers and investors. The long version of what you're doing is you're selling your right to buy the property to somebody else. So when you have a contract to buy real estate, at least in the United States of America, here in the greatest country in the world, when you have that, you own the right to purchase the property. That's called equitable interest, and that can be sold, right? So, when Tom has an agreement with Sally to buy Sally's house, Tom owns the right to purchase the home. That is worth money. Right? Tom's right to purchase the home is worth money. So what we do is we create that relationship, and then we sell the right to buy the house to somebody else. So a key for us is negotiation tactics and market knowledge, things like that.
Perfect.
But specifically we handle like distress type situations.
Okay. So I know, I've seen George's work. I know him personally. I know these guys know what they're doing from Diamond Equities, and they move a lot of property in the city. And when I say move a lot of property, it means they sign a lot of contracts, and they're good at it. They know how to sell. They know how to market, which is really, honestly, the business we're all in, which is marketing. So, what I'd like to say, George, when did you get into the market, or when did you start doing this?
October of 2014.
October 2014. Okay. So what have you seen? So talk about the market from 2014 until now, and what you've seen happening in the market, like adjustments, like are prices softening, getting better, what kind of stuff is moving cleaner, buyer types, that kind of stuff. Any information you have from a wholesaler perspective?
Property always moves if the numbers are right, regardless of type of market. What you can get for the property changes, but whether or not you can sell a deal is dependent on what you negotiate it for. And if it's a good deal, you can sell it to somebody in line at 7-Eleven. I've always been of that viewpoint. 2014, we were doing a lot of business with like pocket buyers or sort of professional real estate investors, people that, they might have used to have a full-time job, but most of them just were slinging deals or buying deals, renting and holding, flipping. That's kind of what their business was. At the end of 2015, going into this year, what I started to see a lot more of was first-time buyers, people with full-time gigs that were getting in the market, and people that I think of as having like home equity lines in their homes that were just jumping into real estate, that weren't like professional guys or people that were dipping their toe back into the market since losing money in 2009. So when that happens, prices skyrocket on our end. We're still contracting deals for about the same that we would get them, plus or minus a little bit, but we're able to sell them for 10, 20% more than we typically would, and that difference is ours. So that's great for us. The last couple months, there's definitely been a slowdown in terms of what we're getting for deals. Part of that is definitely because it's starting to get cold outside. The market is shifting. I think that there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the election and what's going to happen next. There were some market indicators to people in the know or people that were paying attention that said, hey, we could be due for a market softening in 2017. There was a few indicators of that. I think home sales dropped July over July, which was, a big one. So, I was putting my money on a softening coming. I was getting, ready to buy stuff myself next year. But since the election, nobody really knows what's going to happen. So I feel like a lot of people have the brakes on until January, February, until we really see what's going to happen with the new administration. we're not selling deal. Like we have some stuff under contract that I was thinking like, hey, this should fly off the shelf for a certain number. Hasn't flown off the shelf. So I wouldn't say that that's concerning, but I would say that we need to adjust what we're doing on the front end to make sure that we're getting good deals to get people.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's really good input. I mean, I've noticed that kind of across the board with guys I've done interviews with, stuff that we underwrite from our end. You know, everybody's anticipating it softening, right? Can't go up forever, and we're in the tail end of a run from 2008, 2009. So softening is okay. You know, stability across the board. What we obviously nobody wants to see is a crash, but you know, who knows? So I can see that you're seeing it. You're doing. Obviously, you guys know what you're looking at, and obviously, honestly, I always say this: like, I got into business wholesaling, and it's extremely lucrative, as well as it gives you such a good pulse on the market. I always recommend to people when they're starting. I'm like, or even not just starting. I mean, the most experienced. In fact, I know some really experienced guys that still wholesale a ton of property because you can just make so much money on it, and it keeps you right on the button with everybody's doing. Because you're going to be dealing with guys that buy and hold, guys that flip, where they are, where you need to be in the market, what you're seeing. Whereas, like, if you're just doing one specific type of investing in one specific area, the only thing that you really see, you're kind of bubbled into that little area versus seeing everything. So wholesaling is fantastic because it teaches you how to underwrite as well, which is really what I do. There's really no difference between what I do and you do, except I just give out money, you give out contracts. We both underwrite. So what are you guys doing moving into 2017 coming up now? You know, maybe by the time this is released, it'll be 2017. But what are you doing to adapt and adjust your marketing and your business that you guys, you know, operate?
Right. So great question, by the way. So the most important realization, I think, was what the key to being good at wholesaling and the key to doing what you do is, just like you mentioned before, and this was a great piece of advice I got from you when I started, was realize that you're not in real estate. What you're really in is sales and marketing.
Right.
You need to have real estate knowledge, but at the end of the day, like wholesaling, we don't do construction really. Like, we buy some deals here and there, yes, but what we're doing is sales and marketing, sales and marketing, sales and marketing. That's really all we're doing. Market knowledge comes into play. We are in real estate, but those are the core skills. So, you know, on the sales and marketing piece, something that's really important is knowing your numbers, knowing close rates, knowing where your marketing is being the most successful, having systems in place, because if there is a softening or if there is a crash, and, you know, nobody really knows when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen at some point. The only people that survive are the people that are actually good at what they're doing, and not the people that have been using a good market as a crutch. So, like, if we're hitting home runs on deals, we've recently done some assignments that were like 60,000, 80,000. We were doing a few that are like 40.
Yeah.
Great deals, right? So, you know, you can use the market as a crutch now. So we're hedging up our systems and accounting and, you know, sales systems to make sure that we're being efficient with what we're doing, and we're laser targeting some lists and hedging out on some new marketing areas that should always be distressed, because that's really what we're looking for, is distressed people.
Yeah, okay. So that's really interesting. So you guys are seeing, yeah, we've always been kind of saying that the market kind of has covered up mistakes in the past and does that. And then so as it softens, you just got to do exactly what you're doing. Is at least we see it from HMB's perspective as well, this exact same thing. It's just, you know, the market isn't going to cover those mistakes forever. So take it while it's hot, but at the same time, be prepared to not trick yourself and say, hey, it's going to be like this forever. So how do you adjust moving forward? So really good. It sounds like we're all on the same page there. And let me ask you this. So you're constantly dealing with sellers and buyers. So if you have tips for people that are getting into wholesaling, or what are they going to do? What are some of the best tips you could give? Simple insider tricks, anything you can think of off the top of your head?
I can do a seminar on sales tactics, negotiation tactics all day. I love doing that stuff. It's really a passion of mine. My number one piece of advice is make sure you're not looking to get rich quick, because a lot of people try that.
Sure.
And make sure that you're coachable and find a mentor and listen to them.
Coachable. I like it.
That's my best advice. And make sure that you're getting direct access to sellers to get your own deals. If a realtor's got it, if it's a bank owned, if another wholesaler has it, it's not your deal. If it's your deal and it's your name on the contract or your entity, you have control. And having control is ultimately one of the most important things in the process of a deal.
Okay, that's perfect. Appreciate that, man. So I'm going to wrap it up, but I want to make sure everybody can contact George Beatty if you got deals to sell or you want to buy stuff. This is the man to talk to in Philadelphia. So how do I get in touch with
George Beatty? Holler at me on Facebook. Type in George Beatty on the Facebook, and I'll pop up. I'll probably be smiling like this. Cell phone's 215-450-0987. I'm very available by text. And my email is George, George, at diamondequityinvestments.com. I'm most responsive to email and text by far. If you guys need help closing deals or need a buyer, totally cool. We'll help you out with that. If you just want some free advice, I'll do that too. So,
Okay.
hit me up.
Do you want a website on there or anything like that everybody could go to, or no?
Diamondequityinvestments.com should be like our little website. We've got PhiladelphiaWholesaleDeals.com, which is where we sell all our deals. Sign up for the buyers list there. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it, George. It's been a pleasure having you. Watch out for this guy's videos. He makes HMV. He should be on our marketing squad for sure. This man's entertaining, so find him on Facebook. I recommend it. So thanks a lot, George.
Thank you, Ian.